babe. How's it going?
Paige Burke, what's going on?
Well, I have little Kevin with me
He's
again.
back. Yes.
He's back.
And we're back.
And we're back.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, so last night I sent you a text.
You did.
What did it say?
It said Christmas.
Ooh,
And
Christmas.
I immediately exploded because what other person do you know is listening to Christmas music
Year round?
year round?
Just you.
Just me. It's true, ladies and gentlemen. I love Christmas music. I'll buy a Christmas record in April, and it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, it's not just Christmas music. It's Christmas movies.
Oh, I love me some Hallmark.
Oh,
Man,
way too much.
it's true. Man, especially when they have Christmas in July, I watch every movie, and you're always like, "Hey, hun, you've seen this movie 17 times."
Well, here's what happens. We start watching the movie, and within 10 minutes, you're asleep. And
That's true.
by then, I'm into the movie. So I'm just like, well, what's going to happen? Even though they're so predictable. So
That's what makes them great.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I stay up and watch the rest of the movie. And then the next night when it's on, you're like, oh, I really want to see this one. And I'm like, we have seen this one.
I think part of the problem is that when I turn on a Hallmark Christmas movie, it puts me into a headspace where I'm very relaxed and I'm very happy. And that combination, if I've had a long day, typically they're on later in the evening. And you're right, I'm out. Like as soon as I put my head on a pillow and we start watching it, I'm gone. And then I wake up, and I might sometimes wake up to see the climax where the couple falls in love. Or, she realizes that the letter was never sent and it was on the floor. And he realizes that at the whole time she was the secret Santa. And oh my goodness. And then they come together, and it's always positive. It's happy.
It always happens at the tree lighting service for the community.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love a good tree lighting service?
Or
With the fake snow? Yeah, the snow's still on the guy's jacket.
Oh,
it's like, bro, you've been walking with that jacket for 20 minutes, and the snow is still on your shoulder. Just knock it off. It's okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I can see what draws you in.
So what is it that makes you, I'm not going to say that this makes you upset, but you do seem a little perplexed that I am Christmas 365.
Well, this goes back to when, like right after high school, I worked at this card store, and it was like gifts and cards.
Yep.
And they would, the day after Thanksgiving, oh, thank goodness it was after Thanksgiving back then.
Right.
Because now it's like after Halloween.
They start gearing up. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they would play like the same loop of songs.
Oh no.
And I think it was through, it was through some subscription where, it basically just played elevator music in the background.
And there was no streaming services back then, because we're talking mid 80s to the 90s.
No, babe, I'm not that old.
No, I know that, but I'm saying 92. Yeah, that's not what I meant by that comment. What I meant is from that range of 80s to the 2000s, there really wasn't a streaming service. So basically, you had to either get it like Muzak, or you had to there was a subscription to get that music brought in. That's all I meant by that.
Yeah. No, it was Muzak, and they just looped the same songs, and like I was like, it's too much. It's too much. So we would listen to those songs over and over. And first couple weeks, you're like, oh, this is great. And then it doesn't stop. And you're just like, I got to get out of here.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I feel with you.
Oh, man.
I got to get out of here.
What wax were we spinning the other day where you're like, hey, are we going to listen to the Linus and Lucy theme song from the Charlie Brown Christmas record? You were like, can you please change to a different artist? And I was offended. I was moderately offended. I was like, what are you talking about?
Because you have recently got the Charlie Brown record, and you've been playing it nonstop.
Nonstop. Now, in defense of me getting this Charlie Brown record that she's talking about, so let's walk that back a little bit.
Yeah.
The Charlie Brown record that I just recently acquired was the Glow in the Dark. It's the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
And it includes the theme song from Linus and Lucy, which is also on the Christmas record. So I think you heard one song and assumed I was playing the Christmas record, which, because Halloween is so close to Christmas as you're gearing up towards that holiday season from Halloween trick-or-treat, Thanksgiving, Black Friday, Christmas Eve, Christmas, to New Year's, one would make that assumption. But it was incorrect because I was playing It's a Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown. So just for clarification for the audience, I wasn't technically playing a Christmas record.
I know there are multiple Charlie Brown records.
Yeah, and I'm trying to collect them all.
I have no doubt.
And it's difficult because some of them were released back in the day, even before I was born.
Yeah, but just to constantly hear Charlie Brown music, and then, and most of it is Christmas music, and then you put on other Christmas records that you have, and I'm just like, it's a lot of Christmas.
It is. Well, okay. So, what is your favorite Christmas song?
I don't know.
Do you have a favorite?
Angels we have heard on high.
Okay, so you like more of what we would consider the traditional songs that are sang or listened to that have kind of a religious theme, right? A hymn, if you will.
I like all kinds of Christmas music, but I remember like in 7th or 8th grade, we played Angels We Have Heard on High.
Yeah. In
one of our orchestra concerts. So I was like, well, this is a jazzy tune. So that's why
yeah,
I like that. Oh, and the one, I mean, I like a lot of them, but I don't think I need to listen to them all year round.
Yeah, and I was just before we came down here to shoot this, I was listening to what I would consider, I have a top 5. Would you like to know what my top 5 are?
I'm
all right.
On the edge of my seat.
For the listening audience, here are the top 5. No hate, please. But I do think that these are pretty hard to dispute. So number 1, when I hear this song, I could be in a bad mood. Everything could be going wrong. And it could be like on my birthday in April. And it's Andy Williams. It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year. Oh, man. That song, the production value on that song, just the lyrics and the way that the orchestra is interacting with him singing is beautiful. So that's number 1.
Okay.
Okay. Number 2. Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas, Bing Crosby.
That's a good one.
That guy's a crooner.
Oh,
wow,
absolutely.
Bing, I love you. Thank you for all of the great work that you have given.
Well, he's not really around right now.
No, I know that. Yes. I understand. Yeah. But yeah, that record's also amazing. Just production value, the way that it's orchestrated, and and it's super popular. They reissue it. They put it on colored vinyl. There's a lot of people that aren't into colored vinyl, but it's amazing. Number 3, Burl Ives, Holly Jolly Christmas. Oh my gosh, right? Just the line where he's like, I don't know if it'll snow, but have a cup of cheer. Right? He doesn't know. He can't predict the weather. He's Burl Ives.
He's not a meteorologist.
No, he's trying to sing a Christmas tune.
Exactly.
That tune is snappy, everybody. You just start snapping your fingers. You can't help it. Okay.
Okay, number 4.
Ronettes, Sleigh Ride on that Christmas record by Phil Spector. That's a classic. And the way that they do they kind of do the chorus and they're kind of singing it in contrast with the lead singer who's singing that song. That's an amazing song. That's an amazing record. Now, I don't have that record, but I do know of someone who does have an original copy of that. That's also a hard one to get, but that tune is amazing. And then here's what I struggle with. Number 5 is kind of a collection, depending upon my mood.
Collection.
Well, I mean, let's be honest.
Number 5 through 10.
Number 5 through 500. No, I have a Christmas song. I bet you can't guess this. We bought the Christmas record by Reliant K. Actually, it wasn't a record, but it was on CD. And it's the 12 Days of Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where part of the refrain is, what's a partridge in a pear tree? And I don't know, so please don't ask me. I love that. And it's it's got a metal vibe, you know? They're really pushing the tempo. And you're just like, yes, this is amazing. And I love that. So Christmas music makes me happy, man. It really does.
I'm all about Christmas, but I like to keep it, after Thanksgiving.
That's the thing. You really do. You like to compartmentalize it a little bit, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and I'm not down with that, everybody. I just think, if you want to leave your Christmas decorations and your Christmas tree up all year round, you go for it.
And there are people who do.
Yeah, well, that's because it brings them joy.
Absolutely.
Hey,
if something brings you joy, you got to go with it.
We're all about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kevin brings you joy. He's down here shooting in the shot.
Listen, Kevin is my buddy.
He is.
He's like, I'm not going anywhere. So you can either have me scratch on the door or you can include me in this podcast.
That's right.
So we should call it the Brian, Paige, and Kevin Show.
Absolutely, 100%. I mean, and then if ever one day this gets monetized, Kevin can get his share in Doggy Bones.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
and he can, be the world's richest dog. Like and subscribe, people. This dog, he has a certain quality of life that he needs to maintain, no matter what.
Yes.
I mean, he needs Christmas sweaters. He needs...
How many Christmas sweaters do the dogs have?
Too many.
Yeah.
Too many. We're hoarders.
We are, ladies and gentlemen, we are hoarders, straight up. Hey, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
What's your fondest Christmas memory? Do you have one?
Well, I love that every year my dad's side of the family gets together and we have a big party and Santa Claus comes in.
He does.
And we just get to have all the little kids go up and sit and tell him about what they want for Christmas. It's the cutest thing.
It is. It's so cute. And here's the thing that I love about it. When Santa Claus gets ready to leave, okay, this orchestrated production of handing out gifts to all the kids.
Yes.
Everybody starts singing Jingle Bells.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Nobody blows a pitch pipe. Everybody's out of key. But somehow, after the first 3 Jingle Bells, it's all together. And it's wonderful. And it's just... That's just for a minute or two. I'm just like, I love this.
It's fun.
I love this.
It's fun. And it's like with extended family, you don't always get to see everybody.
That's true.
A lot.
No.
So it's nice that we kind of all come together and just see the little ones grow and be so excited about, seeing Santa Claus.
Right on.
Or, just be super terrified of Santa Claus.
By the way, we're not promoting Santa Claus.
No.
Yes. And we raised our children to know that although St. Nicholas was a real person.
If you have little ones, don't go any farther.
That's right. That's
okay.
right.
We
press pause right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
We decided not to do Santa Claus when our kids were little.
Yep. So we told them the truth. We said, hey, listen, we celebrate Christmas as kind of the time and although this is not historically accurate, the time that we celebrate it as the time that Jesus was born, even though scholars have said it probably really wasn't on December 25th.
Right.
Which
I
we
think
get.
that's where we get Christmas in July, because Christmas should have been
I think
probably
that's more
in
of
July.
I think that's more of a marketing thing, but
Probably.
you know,
But we always said, Christmas is about the Lord, and that's what we wanted to celebrate. Also, I don't know. I don't really want to, lie to my children and for years and years. So
Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to just, well, at first I was like, I'm just not going to say anything about Santa Claus. So we agreed. We were like, okay, we're not going to say anything about Santa Claus. And Morgan was 2 years old. And we were at the Christmas party that all of our extended family goes to.
yeah.
And my uncle came up and said, hey, is Santa Claus going to sneak into your house and leave you presents tonight? And she just darted over to me and she was like, Mom, we have to go now. And I'm like, oh, honey, we're having fun. She's like, we have to go now. And I'm like, well, what's going on? And she's like, there is a man and he is coming over and he is sneaking into our house tonight.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. So rethink the just ignoring Santa Claus and, go to, okay, we want to tell you that a lot of people think it's fun to believe in Santa Claus.
Right.
But, we like to focus on Jesus.
Right on.
And don't tell your friends.
That's right. And it really didn't impact the way that the kids grew up with Christmas, because there were still presents, there was still fellowship.
Yeah.
We had dinner parties and get-togethers and white elephant, and it did not negatively affect them, I don't think.
No, they got just as many presents.
Yeah.
And they kind of felt like they were in on a secret.
And they were liberated to some degree, where they didn't have to, at, I don't know, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, choose an age when you found out that, Christmas was actually being handled by Mom and Dad, a.k.a. Santa Claus, which, by the way, I grew up with Santa Claus.
Mm-hmm. So did I.
Yep. And I think I figured it out at age 10. I think it's about 10 or 11. Yeah. Which some might argue that that's a little late, but whatever.
I don't remember how old I was, but I remember I was coming home from a baseball game with my cousin Tracy was in the back seat with me.
Yep.
And my mom and dad were in the front. And so it was just the four of us. And my dad said, so, you know that Santa's not real, right? And I was like, yeah, because my cousin Tracy's older, so I was like acting cool.
Of course.
Yeah,
Yes.
I was like, oh yeah,
Yeah, of course.
I knew that.
Yeah. Thanks for ruining that.
Thanks for-
Spoiler alert.
And then, it got worse. He was like, along with the Easter Bunny, and and I was like,
It's all a sham.
you're
They're
taking
running
it
a
all
ruse.
away.
That's right.
You're taking it all away.
We're running a ruse on our children. Yes.
Man, so I was like, okay. And then my sisters, who are just a year and 2 years younger than me, they didn't know. So, I couldn't tell them, because Dad was like, now, don't tell your sisters. And I was like, okay. And I was just like, I got home and they were like, hey, what's going on? I'm like, I need a minute.
I gotta have a minute. I just found out Santa Claus is fake. Yeah. You know what though? So we didn't have that with our kids, and that's okay. And I don't think, like I said, it didn't negatively impact how they grew up. And I think and I think everybody's going to do what they got to do. I grew up with Santa Claus. I found out Santa Claus wasn't real. I think it was like 10, 9, 10, 11, somewhere in that age range, and I can't be 100% specific, but I heard a noise. I woke up. I see my mom carrying gifts through the hallway, and then it dawns on me. I'm like, well, obviously, this is not legit. And then I just never said anything, but I knew, and it's okay. So I never went up to my mom and was like, hey, I know that you're Santa Claus, right? And even if Dad was taking gifts out there, it's Mom who I saw, you know. And I gotta tell you, one of the best Christmas memories I have is when I got the Kenner Death Star PlayStation back in '78 after the Star Wars movie had come out, because it said, you know, to Brian from Santa. I mean, I vividly have this memory of the Death Star, and that's a great memory, you know. And my fond memory is playing Frosty the Snowman in elementary school. I was the lead. I was actually Frosty.
You would be the best Frosty.
I was the best Frosty.
I wish I was there.
Crazy. It was crazy.
I can just see you.
I had the crowd of parents hooping and hollering, high-fiving people. Yeah, if there would have been cell phones, that would have been trending on Twitter. It was unreal. It just was unreal.
Can you get up and give us a little demonstration of...
No, you know, like Frosty, he doesn't have a lot that he can do because, you know, he's going to melt.
He's
going to melt.
Arms that are sticks, and he's going to melt.
Oh, yeah. You know, I was dressed up in a sheet. Yeah. It was very reminiscent of Charlie Brown dressing up for Trick or Treat. You know, only I didn't have all the holes. You know, but yeah,
I wish I was
memory.
there. When I get to heaven, I'm going to be like, Lord, can you replay that Frosty the Snowman?
Can we see Brian playing Frosty the Snowman?
I got to see it.
I got snubbed. I got no Emmy. There was no Oscar nomination. I got beat out by some other rendition of, who knows, Jack Frost. It's all rigged.
It's all political.
Yeah, it is. Totally.
Yeah. Not cool, man.
It's totally not cool.
Well, thanks for walking down memory lane this morning.
No problem. You know I love talking about Christmas.
Absolutely. And it's August, people. So
that's right. It's August. We got the Nutcracker. It's all good. I assembled this in minutes. Oh, by the way, John Denver and the Muppets. That record is iconic.
So cool. Oh, I mean, you can't go wrong with the Muppets.
No, you can't. Favorite Muppet character?
Animal.
Animal?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I would go with Beaker.
Very cool.
Yeah, I think that's a wrap.
All right. We'll see you guys later. And who knows what we'll talk about next time.
That's right. Catch us later.